Western Conference Playoff rankings on the agenda for today. As you can see on your screen before you, the same cast and crew from the Eastern rankings. We got Hitman Honda, Davi from the Blue Burrows Pod, and Hector from Intername FC. Guys, we're going to rank where we see these playoff teams going based on who they've got coming up. Look, it's a little bit different for the Eastern Conference video. If you just watched that one, we already knew Atlanta United had won the wild card game. They're going into round one up against Inter Miami. Very, very different case for the West. The worst way to give home field advantage, having BC Place host a monster truck rally as opposed to having an MLS playoff match at the stadium against a top 5 MVP candidate coming into town, or what would have been insane, bro. I honestly can't believe it. I would have been, had that been my team or my owner, I'd have been furious, bro. Furious.
Not even NYCFC are like that, bro. Like they paid off like that random golf event at City Field. They're like, no, fuck you guys. We're gonna have our game instead.
I'm telling you, bro. That's when you got to stamp that American, pompous ass fucking attitude down someone's throat and just say, we're not gonna do this. Like this is our stadium. We're gonna use it for something real, like an MLS playoff game. Again, if you're into monster trucks, no disrespect. No disrespect,
well,
bro.
It does help when you have filthy rich owners.
Yes,
so.
I mean, I will say though, you could have also wore your Canadian tuxedo also to the Vancouver Whitecaps game. So I mean,
fair.
Or at that point, why not just find another stadium to play your game?
The good news is that, like, proximity wise, they're not even that far apart technically. So
technically, you're right, but at the same time, like, how is this fair to Vancouver, a team that finished above Portland, and it's a rivalry game because it's Cascadia as well.
Yeah,
and I mean, we know the Portland fans are going to show out. That they just got given, even though they're going in as the lowest seeded team into the postseason, and they were gifted a home game because for some reason some guys in mullets just said no, we're gonna have this monster truck rally.
I know for a fact Vancouver has a few stadiums out there as well too. It's not gonna be like BC Place, but
just do what the New York teams do. Yeah, just rotate back and find another stadium to play in. Like, I don't know, man. There's so many solutions where you can still give your fans something.
Just do what we do. Just play on a baseball field. Just fucking lay sod over
or play diamond. In Florida. Like, what's the worst part?
Besides the travel, yeah.
Both teams are traveling.
That's true. Actually, that's very true. Both teams traveling. It will suck for both.
Why not Seattle? Why didn't they try Seattle?
That's another thing too.
The Seahawks,
neutral place.
I don't know when Seattle plays. Well, they're round one. Doesn't even matter. But like, yeah, it could have been something. And I don't know what Seattle has going on with, like, maybe, I don't know, Seahawks or who knows. Number of reasons why it could have been other markets. I just think this was the laziest option to take.
Speaking of baseball fields, go play at T-Mobile.
Yeah,
play at the Mariners.
Yeah,
they're not busy.
Vancouver out.
Seahawks are home like the next two games.
But you guys, like I said, T-Mobile. I don't know, bro. We're obviously just spitballing here, right? But like, at the end of the day, like, they just could have done something, and you give a pretty decent team who's been very much better at home than they have been away this season.
A rival of yours.
Home field advantage. You just give up a major advantage. It's crazy. Colorado will play Galaxy in round one. How do we see this going?
It's going to be very difficult for Galaxy. However, I do see Galaxy making it through because we got the home advantage twice.
Is it 2 or 3 games for you?
This is going to 3. It's going to 3.
I think it's going to 3
I was thinking 3 as well.
But I don't see it going to PKs. I think in Carson for game 3, giving LA 2 good chances to, like, see what different looks Colorado tries to throw at them. I think they switched up a few different players here and there. And if Cole Bassett's right now looking pretty damn good, if he keeps it going, if some of the other players, can match some of the star power of the Galaxy, sure. I can't see it in Carson.
They lost to Austin. They're gonna have that in the back of their heads as well too.
Yeah, in 3, I back the Galaxy. Also, just way more experienced players, I think, than what the Rapids have right now. And no matter what, this whole postseason's a W for the Rapids. I mean, just being here is pretty fucking sweet for them. So
it's house money
for us too.
Yeah,
bro.
House money for sure.
We've seen both of the teams last season, bro. But
there's a standard Galaxy's always kind of held to in my book. You know what I mean?
Galaxy, obviously you want to go for titles because
I think what you're going off of with Honda, though, I agree with you that, like, from what happened last year to now, I mean, it's a huge improvement. I thought LA Galaxy was going to improve. I didn't think competing for the first spot in the Western Conference. I thought maybe fifth, maybe get a home field advantage in the first round. And so like for them to do, I mean, they've exceeded expectations as well. But I think with Colorado, because I will say the one thing that Colorado did versus what LA did, Colorado had a massive overhaul of players. LA, they definitely got they brought in new additions, obviously Paintsel and Peck.
Yeah.
But but I think that they just needed a few more pieces to improve what they already had on the team, because they had something that LA Galaxy had last year. It just was missing a few things to make them even better. And I think that this is the better that I guess LA saw. So I don't know. I think Colorado there was a lot of questions behind when is this team going to click? Is it going to be too late, or is it going to be at the right time? And things are clicking for them at the right time. But in a playoff atmosphere, I think LA is just, you think of MLS, you think of the LA Galaxy.
Yeah, agreed. There's just like that brand out there that always sticks out, where I feel like if they make it into the postseason, there's an expectation, to at least make it past the first round and make a little bit of a run. So yeah, I think this is pretty comprehensive. Minnesota will play RSL in 3 games. RSL gets the home field advantage. To me, this is actually pretty damn close. I mean, they also played very recently, earlier this month, actually, tied 0-0. So I think it's going to be a close game because RSL is not in their best form. They've kind of passed that moment in the season. But
I can see Minnesota upsetting them.
Across 3?
As well.
Across 3.
Wow. Interesting. What
Especially
specifically?
I was going to say RSL in 2.
Wow. That's also kind of ballsy. I'll say RSL in 3. That was, I mean, I don't want to just go with the home team every time, but to me, they just, on paper, feel like a better team.
Yeah, on paper, they look like a better team, but they've been toothless these past couple games.
Like, they've been lucky to get these wins. If you've been watching the games, how they've been playing.
Yeah, maybe I'm weighing experience a little too much then. I don't know.
And don't forget about Pookie.
Yeah, Pookie. I mean, Minnesota just doesn't have a ton of experience at any level. The manager, a lot of the players, they have some, right? Some veterans in there. I don't know. Again, man, I'm probably putting a lot of emphasis on experience right now. Yeah, it's actually very tough. I think this is one that could go to PKs after 3.
I think if it goes to PKs, I think Minnesota definitely take that.
All right. I mean, I'm down to have my mind change. I think that's totally fine. We could say that RSL go out in round 1 as number 3 seed. I'm totally down for that. You guys want to do that?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, Davi, sorry, bro, changed my mind. RSL in 2 is kind of crazy. If it does happen, Davi's a fucking genius, bro. Okay. Seattle and Houston. This one's so tough, bro. This one's so difficult.
This one's like FC Dallas.
So difficult.
If it isn't for the fact that Dynamo is just so terrible at Lumen Field, like they just can't.
But you're good on the road. That's the thing.
But we're good on the road, and I will say the last game they had at Lumen Field, it wasn't as bad as most of other performances at Lumen Field. But yeah, I think it's a weird matchup. I think if you ask Sha Yan, he has his doubts with Seattle, and I have my doubts with the Dynamo, specifically on the attack side. But this is a very interesting matchup, and it's 4th and 5th seed, so it's always going to be, I think, the closer of the matches when it comes down to it. A 5th seed isn't an upset because I mean it could have been flipped either or. I think depending on what results got better than the other one. But yeah, I mean, I believe in this defense. But
hashtag nose derby.
Bro,
that's all I'm gonna say.
It's actually insane how bad you guys are in Seattle.
It's insane.
I'm actually impressed. Like this is like a crazy streak that you guys.
I don't even know. I don't even remember if there was a time we wanted Lumen Field. That's like the thing. And if it did, it had to be long ago.
It was a long time ago, bro. Like I'm talking like pre-2010. I mean, I can't see a game where like.
And that was around the good times of the Dynamo.
Yeah, bro. I mean, before then, those are what I'm saying. Like, I can't find it up to 2010. Like, this is kind of insane, bro. Like, I don't know. Seattle fans, you guys definitely have Houston's number, at least at home. So based on that logic, though, they should win a game. And I think at Shell Energy, Houston should win a game.
Yeah.
It now becomes about that third game.
I do think this goes to 3 games.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it goes to 3 games, but I think it's going to pan out differently than how we think it's going to go.
So if you guys get 2 shots at Lumen Field, there's no way you drop both, right? You could probably get one, even if you force PKs.
I think it would have to go down to PKs, but I think that Steve Clark is such a wild card when it comes to penalties. Like, he can have his moment, his one stop, or he could just be completely flat. And that's also what kind of scares me, because I think the last pens that we were in, actually, he was terrible. So maybe he's due. So I mean, like, but I think
crazy, man.
I think if anything, the one thing that I know for sure, Dynamo are going to put up a defensive class in all 3 of these matches. It just depends on what we see from Seattle's attack. And I mean, you know, I feel like they'll find goals. And I'm, like I said, I'll go back to the last time they faced off. I think it was like a 1-score game at the way it ended. Might have been 2, just like a nail in the coffin kind of thing. But
yeah,
I honestly, like, it felt closer, and I think probably it felt different from the other times the Dynamo have been in Lumen Field. There was actually a moment for me that I felt like there was possibly a chance that they could at least get a point from there. And so, like you said, though, you get 2 shots at getting a win in Lumen Field, and I think that I think they can come away with a win in that 3rd game.
Yeah, because in that 1-0, right, which was back in like not even that long ago, like a month ago, 3 weeks ago, Houston dominated possession. The chances fell to Seattle, and Seattle converted one of them, but Houston had the majority of the ball. Just no big chances. 7 shots, a lot of them were from distance. But like Seattle didn't even control the game at their own field. That's what's kind of crazy about that game. I'm inclined to agree with you.
I was looking at the records. Houston's never won at Lumen Field.
There you go.
Even in 2009, they lost 2-1.
It's bound to happen at some point. And listen, if it happens in the playoffs,
it'll be epic. That's for sure. It'll be epic. In
fact,
I'm inclined to back Hector because of what I've seen Houston do on the road. That's the biggest reason why.
Yeah, 2009, these 2 teams played in the playoffs. It was 0-0 in Seattle, and then Houston took it in extra time in the second, like 1-0.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy to never have won. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, and they played like 3 times at Lumen Field, and the other one was in U.S. Open, and they still lost 2-1 in extra time.
Jesus, man, that's like the one cursed.
You done there, Davy?
He just pulled out the book. Just
I'm just like, I'm curious, man. Like, I've never seen like. This is like,
man.
Dude, this is freaking horrible. I mean, if you guys, dude, if you guys do it in the playoffs, like, I'll tip my hat off to you guys.
He's like, you know what? You had us going out in the fucking last video.
You know what? If the Dynamo eliminates Seattle, you got to wear a cowboy hat for the next recording.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Hell no.
Come on, bro. That's an easy one. That's an easy one. I'll ship you one. I'll ship you a Mexican one. Mexican cowboy hat.
Like cowboy or like Dallas Cowboys?
Hat.
No,
No,
like a cowboy hat, like a Texas, like a country hat, cowboy hat.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I thought you meant like Dallas Cowboys.
No, I am not a Dallas Cowboys.
And you got to give me a yeehaw in the episode.
Hell no.
Oh man, that would have been great.
Or for in a Houston sense, you could just say, "No, I'm talking about."
That's so true. So true. Man. Or better than all of this, you should put a Red Bull kit on.
Oof.
No, I'm committing suicide. I'd rather put suicide than put that shit on.
All right.
Yeah, we'll move past that point. Okay, so Houston collectively, right? Hunter, do you feel good about this?
Yeah, I feel good about that. Like, it's a toss-up. It's very tough.
It is very close. This is up there with like New York City and Cincinnati. It's like I really can't pick one, but I back away for him as a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay, so
bring Vancouver down because they're out.
Oh yeah, that's right. So it would be here. So LA, off rip would have
Portland.
Portland. And we feel like they should be Portland.
Realistically, they should be beating Portland. Although, hey, if the upset comes,
if it was, and I think that this is one of those. If this was a one-off game, not a best of 3,
that's how it's supposed to look.
I would say Portland could get the upset surprise and really change the whole atmosphere of the playoffs. But it is the best of 3. But one of also on the flip side though, LAFC, how consistent have they been defensively as well? I mean, first place, first seed in the playoffs, clearly, but
playoffs. But that's because Steres decided to turn into prime Sergio Ramos and score that header. Like,
that's true.
Only against Galaxy, by the way.
Yeah, that was a hell of a goal, though. Hell of a goal.
Yeah, I give him credit, bro. I give him credit for that.
Yeah, okay. We went from possible, more than likely seeing Real Salt Lake again, which I was like, bet I'm all for this getting Real Salt Lake, and then it's Seattle.
Bro, okay, so now looking at this, right? LA plays Houston, Galaxy play Minnesota in this scenario, right?
Oh man, a rematch of the Western Conference Finals.
I'm pretty sure that's how it would go, right? The bracket's already preset. It's not like seed shifts anything matchup over matchup, right? Okay. Yeah, so it would be the winner of Seattle and Houston. Houston would get LAFC, straight up after that. So
I love this.
I do love this. This is actually like a really good matchup and different than what we saw last year, I think.
Tell me why I could see Houston actually making it to the final at this point.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
I'm not trying to hate on LAFC.
Could you? So you could win. You could win one of the two at BMO, Hector.
This isn't best of 3 anymore.
Oh yeah, no, it's just one game, right? Okay, so one game in BMO.
Oh, man, dude, that
for all the marbles, bro. For everything.
That high press is so annoying. But at the same time, I think the pace that the Dynamo have, at least off the wings, could if they're able to get one off. Because let's be honest, and I mean, I'm sure Honda can also vouch for this. LAFC's high press is just annoying as hell. Like it is irritating. Like that's literally the reason why the Dynamo couldn't get anything going in the Western Conference Finals last year. Was just LAFC was just on them like white on rice, like the entire game. And I was just like, are these guys ever gonna get tired? And they didn't. And I mean, the goal that they gave up was a Franco own goal. So I mean, like it was, and I think there was another goal there too. But I don't want to remember that game. But it was just like they played physically. I think that's one thing that LAFC is they're just a very physical team. They keep the high press as long as they can. And it's in LA. It benefits them the most of all things.
As well too.
But the Dynamo did win one in LA.
Technically,
and with the press as well too. You guys figured it out as well too.
Yeah. It's just if LAFC capitalizes early, how does Houston respond? That's my biggest question.
And that field sucks. I'm with my boy Ben Olsen. Benny O knows a few things. And
Benny O knows a few things.
BMO Field's trash, like the playing surface.
I mean, he said that allegedly. I don't know if it's true or not.
Who knows? But either way, if LAFC score first, I'm just wondering where the answer comes from on the road.
And I'm with you on that one. I think the Dynamo have to be the one that scores first. If they get results in LA. But I think LA is just a better team. I think that high press is gonna be a problem once again. And I think it's just about finding their moments. And I mean the Dynamo are always good for the occasional slip up on defense. They're not perfect, but they are the stronger defense, I think, in the MLS right now.
I do think so too.
Yeah, I think
I think I'm gonna say LAFC.
Yeah, LAFC up. Because at the end of the day, LAFC, and it comes to playoffs as well too, like they're just
Congratulations, Hernan.
I'm dead, bro. There's no way. Your second favorite team is making their way to the Western Conference Final.
I can see Houston making it through though. If that's
my mind also goes to like, well, if they were to get eliminated at home in a conference semifinal with the roster that they have, Cherundolo's head would roll. I mean, there's no way that's acceptable by LAFC standards. I think the most likely thing to happen probably is LAFC. But Houston fans, look, there is a path to winning this game. Like, let us know in the comments down below, man. There's definitely a path to winning this game. It's just probably gonna have to be scrappy as hell, and maybe staving off LAFC for the whole first half if possible. Like,
I mean,
0-0 at halftime, it's literally anybody's game.
Like I've said it plenty of times, man. Dynamo know how to win ugly.
Yes,
so,
you have your ugly win, take it to PKs, do whatever you got to do. But like, there's a path to beating this team. It's just very, very difficult. So if I'm putting money down today, I'm back in LAFC. Galaxy and Minnesota United. You guys have faith in Minnesota, so I'll let you guys answer this. I really didn't think they were going to be the
Galaxy's at home, and if they do how they did in the regular season, like they're just there, and also the name in itself as well. My point as a bias.
I agree. And I think your roster's so fucking clear of Minnesota's roster. So clear. That doesn't always mean anything it's on paper, but I'm saying like the playmakers you guys have, Ricky Puig being in the MVP conversation, you acquire Royce, you have Peck, you have Paintsel, there's Jovelich, there's all these players that Minnesota just can't match, in my opinion. And when it matters most, I expect that experience to step up. Davi, any thoughts?
No, I think I see Galaxy go through if they play Minnesota.
And so if we have an El Tráfico final in the Western Conference,
I have it that way anyways.
Who wins?
Galaxy.
MLS, going back to
MLS is going to get what they want. MLS is going to get what they want. It's going to be LA versus Inter Miami in the MLS Cup final.
It is going to be LA versus Inter Miami, but which one do they want? Because the other season, right? They wanted LAFC. They got LAFC.
It's just been LAFC all the time. Bro. I'm not gonna lie. I hope the Galaxy make it in. Like as an FC Dallas fan, it kind of pains me.
Even more for me. I want LA Galaxy to fucking make it to the finals because it goes with my agenda.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm saying like I just don't want to see LAFC anymore. I'll be frank, bro. Like to me, they're kind of somewhat of an overrated or overhyped roster. Yeah, they won Open Cup this year. They've been to more than a few finals. For what they purchased, I don't think the return on the investment's there. And LAFC fans, let's be real, bro. They're kind of unbearable from my perspective. Sorry, Adnan. I'm taking the Galaxy with Davi as well, and I know Honda is too.
Of course, like
but
if LAFC make the final, I'm not gonna be surprised. And if they're rowdy again, let them chirp, bro.
If they go to the Western Conference final, if it's El Tráfico, do we get a Rose Bowl Western Conference final?
If they can manage it, yeah. But I
wonder if we get that. That would be insane.
Oh, yeah. What about a SoFi?
I don't know. I mean, either one. SoFi.
Actually, you know what? No, I don't
Rose
think
Bowl
work,
just hits.
Rose Bowl gives
I don't think SoFi would work because like the Chargers and the Rams, they're in the middle of their season.
Exactly. But I agree. Rose Bowl is just way more vibey. I hope so. I really hope so. MLS has to pay whoever they need to pay to make that happen if these two teams make it to the Western Conference final.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, man.
Look, man, MLS just needs to get a team of Karens. Because if we had a team of Karens, Vancouver would have been hosting a playoff game.
Exactly. On call. Where's our Karen, bro? Get her on the phone.
Or you can have rich owners like us and just fucking pay off.
Not everybody has that fucking money, bro. Not everybody gets that injection from a foreign group to make us rich all of a sudden. And everybody's getting a new. Well, I am getting a new stadium now. I guess 2020.
If it ends out like this,
hey, so are we.
Well, now I was gonna say, and not everybody gets a new stadium, but I was gonna, Dallas is in that position now.
So. Well, they're renovating it. It'll look better. So
yeah, it'll look better. It'll feel somewhat new because it's gonna be a little bigger as well. So
it won't look cookie cutter.
Bro, I mean, that shit was built in 2003. It was built before and before your club was, a fucking thought. You know what I mean?
I was born that year. Shit.
Was it once a Pizza Hut stadium? I forgot what.
Pizza Hut Park.
Yeah. Pizza Hut.
Yeah. When I was playing in the academy, it was Pizza Hut Park. Shit was vibey, bro. I missed that. There was more than a few different just around the park. There was like a Pizza Hut that had like a special menu and all this other shit, like as part of being the stadium's Pizza Hut. But
I bet you that was like Pizza Hut when it was actually good.
I think also is right before Pizza Hut lost a lot of money because I remember that sponsorship just going away super randomly. Like the naming rights are just gone, and they transitioned to Toyota Stadium. And I was just like,
it was just Toyota just bought out the rights.
They did, but I also think Pizza Hut probably couldn't be spending like that anymore. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's no more restaurants now.
Yeah, bro. So it was just like, listen, soccer fans may not be worth all that. We'll dump our money to the NFL bucket.
Yeah,
Call it a day.
you only got Etihad. Ours is going to be called the Etihad. So
Yeah, I mean the Emirates is so clear. But anyway, but I know, bro. I had to throw that one in there.
Columbus beating both LA teams back to back.
I'm here for it.
Pull that off.
Lads, I'm here for it. I'm here for a messy-less MLS Cup final. Say it with me, lads.
So does Columbus get like complete home field advantage?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
All the way through? No.
Then they
no,
finish.
I think
they
final.
finish higher than because they're both second seeds.
They're both second seeds, and they got more points. If we would have got,
they have more points. They for sure have more points. Yeah.
If we would have beat Houston, we would have been hosting it, but no.
But no.
Hey man, you should have paid Daniel Steers a little bit more money to be a double agent, and that's your fault.
The revenge game. Yeah, I remember that. I remember Steers playing for fucking Galaxy. That's crazy. Not too long ago, actually. Not too long ago.
It was on the Eli Lesser video.
Yeah, I did not partake in the latest Eli Lesser video, but I'm sure it was great. Eli's content is fire, bro. All right, man, guys. Look, this is it. This is our tier list. I'm sure you guys probably disagree. I think we had some LAFC fans who've chirped a lot over the course of the season, in which case I fully expect them to be down below in the comments like you should be. And if you haven't done so already, look, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be reacting to these different playoff matches and rounds as they continue to get us to the point of the 2024 MLS Cup final. But until then, support the show, support Goals TV. From everybody here on the channel, my name's Jose. That's Honda. That's Davi. That's Hector. We'll catch you guys next time.